whenever you guys are ready.
Initiate recording.
Initiate.
Oh, I can feel the power surge.
Looks like we're back in this. We're plugged in, guys. How's it going? Welcome back to Unplugged.
That's right.
How you guys doing?
Oh, good. Yeah. Do you want to go through the acronym? J. Hey, I'm doing okay. A.
J.
Hey, I'm doing okay.
D. I'm doing okay.
Hey.
You're gonna change it
Let's
up. You're gonna
go.
mix it up then.
Now, does okay an acronym? Does okay stand for O? Kill that winter, eh? That was the weakest.
Kill.
I couldn't do it.
Kill. Wait, what? Okay. Okay. Yeah, no.
Oi,
Well,
kill,
sometimes it's written
winter.
OKAW, and then sometimes it's written in caps, and then sometimes it's written, I think, unless it's like a Mandela effect, I think sometimes it's written with points in between the O and the K.
Yeah. So fun fact, because I have looked into this word. It's a very strange word. Obviously, it derived from slang originally, right? This isn't a word that's been around for 5,000 years. Okay started around the shipyards in the early, I think, 1900s, and it was a way to say, I think, on Calvin, which was kind of like just a thumbs up to say that the machine's running smoothly, like the steamboats or something.
Huh.
And so it started as an acronym, and then later changed into a word rather than two words. So the capital O and capital K, whether it has periods or not, that's people deriving the original function of the word, meaning on Calvin. And then when it became just its own word, because obviously after enough time passed, new generations don't even know how the original started. They all just say okay to each other. And then that became a word in Webster Dictionary, OKAY. And it's just a term that means all right. For the word okay, everyone just said all right to each other. So we've come a long way as an English speaking.
There you go. Always learning on the JD podcast.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
So that was the educational portion of the podcast. Now we're just going to dive into just some good old-fashioned anecdotes and outworldly drama and all the fun.
Now we're just going to talk about completely unbiased and uneducated conspiracy theories.
Yes.
So guys,
the flat Earth.
Bigfoot. How is Bigfoot? Just kidding.
Okay, actually, okay, I'm super minor side note there. I just recently was talking about that because someone said, how do you even combine all of these things? You got the Loch Ness Monster, the Bigfoot, ghosts, aliens. Are they all here? Because some people just believe in specific ones, and other ones are hodgepodge. And I watched a video from Gaia, which I do not recommend to anyone because it's an alternate science media broadcasting syndicate. They have their own subscription. They just feed you BS, so I feel bad for anyone who's part of Gaia. But the one video I found kind of entertaining was one that they called the Unified Theory of the Paranormal. And in that, they try to describe that Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, the Abominable Snowman, aliens, demons, and ghosts, they're all extra-dimensional beings that are on a higher wavelength than us, and then they can sometimes manipulate their own essence and lower their frequency in a way that they enter the third dimension, the lower dimension, and then we can see them. And they appear as whatever strange object they want, whether it's the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, or ghosts or aliens. They're all these creatures from higher dimensions that just come down and look weird, but like they're all just one type of being up there.
But only one time on it, and only one of them decided to look like the Loch Ness Monster, which has only ever been seen
in a specific location
as that thing. And Bigfoot has only ever been seen as Bigfoot.
Yeah.
In that area of California.
It's as plausible as in the Matrix 2 when they try to describe that. They're like, anytime you hear of werewolves or vampires or ghosts or aliens, it's programs in the Matrix doing something they're not supposed to be doing. It's rogue AI. Yeah, because everything has an individual AI that's operating.
Isn't there a whole separate program in the Matrix where everyone's just vampires?
No, that was a previous iteration.
Oh,
That was like,
okay,
that was like
previous
the Matrix 3 or the Matrix 4 or something.
Right.
The one that we see is the Matrix 7. It's the 7th
Okay.
iteration. Yeah.
I'm from
Not
the
to
Matrix 4.
parallel it too
I'd
much.
like
but
to think that
I'm from
version,
Matrix 4.
the vampire one, is also the Blade universe.
Yes, I
Just
100%
because they wear the same capes and it's the
subscribe to
same
that.
sort of music, like
Epic.
dance raves and stuff.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, because the Merovingian is the vampire. I think that's what it is
Wow.
alluded to. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's epic. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm about it. But anyway, yeah. So that was a side note. Back to mind-numbing anecdotes. This morning, this Tuesday morning of our recording. So it's Friday now as people watch, but on Tuesday I woke up.
Good start. Good start to the day.
Yeah, exactly. I was alive. I became conscious again. I survived sleep, and
Yep.
I collected my things. I dressed myself as adults in public do, and then it's cold. I put on a coat, whatever, right? I go to my car, and for the first time, I can't say this year because we have January, February, March, but this time since summer, I found frost on my windshield.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my God,
Mhm.
yeah.
I turn my car on thinking maybe it's just dew, and I hit the wipers, because that happens a lot, where a layer of frost-like shimmeriness appears, but then you just hit the wiper and it's water and just goes
It's
away.
like a
I do
mist.
that,
Yeah, it's like
nothing
a mist.
happens. I'm like,
Oh,
so
no. You gotta get your
I
scraper
gotta
out.
open my trunk. I gotta go get the thing, the object, and scrape it off the windshield. I'm like,
Wow.
ah!
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
That's
mean, hey,
awful.
people in Edmonton are doing way worse right now. They're like a -10 flurry weather. So,
Yeah.
hey, it sucks to be a mainlander. I mean, we're still mainlanders, but not as mainlanders. Then.
Yeah, my friend lives out there and he sent me a picture of his driveway and the snow's like up to his knees already. I'm like, cool.
To be a true Canadian, yeah, I am not envious at all.
That's awful.
But yeah, it made
But
me a
yeah, we
little.
noticed the frost. I guess where your car's parked, Joe, at the back of your house,
Yeah,
there's like it's all shade, so you're
yeah,
not
It's gonna
getting
be
any like
like,
sun to warm the car up or anything.
yeah, exactly. I gotta do it myself. I
yeah.
gotta rub the car. It's like an animal. I just rub the side of it like a horse. I'm like, it's okay, buddy. Let's warm you
Excuse
up.
me.
You gotta get it warmed up here. You gotta whisper some.
Smack its butt and it starts going. Yeah.
My last car had an automatic starter, so I would just start it from where I was.
Oh, that's
at, and it would just like
awesome.
heat up.
Yeah,
So when
my
you get in
friend's
the car,
pad
it's
has had
already
a
like
car
warm.
that's like that.
And what's
Yeah.
so interesting is even if the car, for instance, when I use the starter, right, you get in
Yeah.
the car and the air is still blowing like cold air.
I know it takes a sec, so it starts cold. I know. I
But
hate that.
even like when you have a car started, like the 10 minutes and it's still blow because it's so cold, it'll still be like heating up. But that 10 minutes of it warming up already, it literally does tenfolds. Like it's like now everything's melted on the whole outside. You're just
Oh,
pushing
you
all the stuff
don't even
off.
have to scrape it.
You
Yeah.
literally don't even have to scrape. It's amazing, but it's so strange how like I'm just thinking in my head, it's like I have a starter, so it's like people that don't have a starter, that how
How on earth?
long does it
Yeah.
take? There,
I just suffer. I do the windshield thing, and then there's still frost on like the passenger side of the windshield. I just leave it and just drive. Wait, maybe I shouldn't say that.
It's rough,
I
man.
fully I wait until it's wet,
It's
then I
rough.
windshield. Police
It's rough.
watching, and we're good to go. My view is not obstructed. I see a full 360 view.
Yeah,
I drive safe.
I noticed a lot though. Like you can take the time in the morning to scrape every single piece of frost off or snow or whatever.
Yes.
But then, as you're driving down the highway, because you've got the heaters on inside the car,
Yeah, and once the engine
when
runs,
all your windows fog up on the inside.
Oh right, yeah, you
At
gotta
least
be.
on my old car, it did. My Buick, like it would always
Just
fog up on the inside because it was hot inside and cold outside, and it'd all fog up. And then it would be at sea out the windows, so then I have to put the windows down a little bit to balance the temperature out. But then I'm letting cold air in, then I'm getting cold again.
Yeah, the trick to that is you start it really hot when you first start the engine and it's cold, and then once it's at least warm, you start cranking it to room temperature. Even though you want it to be warm, that's what you do, and eventually the car does modulate. And plus,
also,
every time I get in the car, I wear a coat anyway, so I'm prepared for the cold in the car. Yeah.
also for the record, I don't think anybody scrapes off all the snow off their car besides Aidan.
Yeah,
For
there you go.
record. For record.
For record, point of reference. Yeah. For the people of the future, they can watch this episode and know.
If anything, for me, I'm scraping off like my eyesight, and that's it. Everything else is cold.
Yeah,
I'm
the rest
driving.
I just leave to.
He's driving like he drives like Ace Ventura, where he just hangs out the window and just drives.
Yeah. I do that. I hang out the window. That thing will warm up the time I get to the first light.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Right. Yeah. And
And
the
it
last
does
time
it.
we did
It really
this was
does.
over 2 years ago, so none of what we're saying is admissible in a court of law in Ontario. So just
Yep.
cover our tracks there.
Just
There we go.
just
Yeah.
talking past tense. Yeah, past tense.
But
Past
yeah.
tense.
So how do you guys feel about the encroaching cold? Are you guys fine with it? What
Yeah, I'm
kind
so
of
used to
entropy
it.
are
I
you?
don't care.
You fine
Yeah,
with
I mean, I think we're lucky slash unlucky enough that we're like at home all the time and don't
Right.
have to
Yeah.
go
No,
to commute, because that was like the worst bit when I was working. I would have to like get up.
Yeah.
If I was had to leave at 6, that means waking up at 5 because you got to spend
Yep.
half, because I get every piece of snow off the car. Like
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
want-
He literally he wakes up, goes out early, scrapes every piece off.
and
No, not
and
for me.
then because I'm a good neighbor, I would do the driveway as well if I had time.
oh,
Not
nice.
always. Stern would do it.
Yeah.
If I had the
Yeah,
time, I would at least do a pathway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd
And
always
then
do the
come
driveway
out
no
and
matter what. I
finish
could
it.
never just leave without just leaving, walking out and just
Yeah.
but I think that for me is one thing, like I do get lonely a lot, like being honest, like especially like during the summertime and stuff like that. Certain times I get lonely like during the day. I'll just be going to the mall or just to get out and just to get a little walk in, see, socialize with people. I ain't buying anything, but I'm just socializing. And I realize that it's like now that it's kind of this time of year, I'm like, I'm good. Like I'm happy. I'm good.
Now
I'm
you're like,
happy to be at home.
hell.
Like,
Yeah.
because everybody, like, I was talking to my friend this morning, and she was like, I hate waking up in the morning. Like when my alarm goes off, she's like, I hate it because it's just like I have to go out to the cold. When it's in the
I
warm,
know you
it's a little
so.
bit different. It's a little different, she's saying. But
Yeah.
the cold, it's just like you're almost in like hibernation mode. It makes you
Yeah,
want to
we're
stay in bed more.
mammals. Mammals hibernate.
Yeah.
We're
So
like
it's
one of
like,
the only ones who
ah,
don't. I'm pretty sure all mammals. Well, no, I can't say that. There are Arctic animals like wolves and what have you, but most mammals hibernate.
Hmm.
Little mice and little, like everybody finds their little burrow and they hibernate.
segue, segue.
Segue. Here we
Aiden,
go.
segue.
Segue.
Good
What are
one.
we talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Speaking of
segue.
mice, I got one thawing
Oh,
right now. Actually, it's a baby rat. Actually, it's a baby rat
wait,
thawing
wait,
right
what?
now for
It's
my new
thawing?
thawing right now. Well, actually, it's probably thawed already because I had it thawing since like 12 today.
What are you about to
Gotta
say? What?
warm it up to feed it to my boa.
Oh my! You got a boa.
I'm feeding it
Oh
tonight.
my gosh!
I'm screwed.
Wow.
I love him.
What's
He's
the
so
size
sweet.
of it?
He's tiny. He's like this big.
Oh, so it's gonna grow. You're gonna
He's like
feed
the
that
size of
thing
like a 20-foot tank, maybe. Like
to
not 20 foot. No, I'm
a
kidding.
toy tank.
he's
Oh, you have a
he's
picture?
really
Yes.
tiny. He's
Let's see. It's
20
not
gallons. He's in
focusing,
a
but I
20
get the
gallon.
vague shape of a snake. I see a surface.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
Blurry, but it's there. Yes.
He's funny.
Wow, you got a snake! Congratulations. How do you
Yeah,
feel?
thank
Do you
you.
feel like
I'm,
you've mastered a religion? Do you feel like you are now the temptress, the tempter? You
definitely.
have the apple. You're like, hey.
Yep.
We
I
have
just want to
apples
take an
Yeah.
apple
too.
from his cage.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
so
how about
cute.
some Fijis too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just
That's
love
a good
everybody's
one.
reaction. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, a snake, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love him."
Oh
He's
yeah.
so interesting. Like when you see him, like he has such a personality. It's crazy.
Yeah. Have you considered milking him?
No,
That's you can milk snakes.
I know I don't want to milk him.
Oh.
I milk my elbow sometimes too. I'm just like,
What happens? What comes out?
nothing. It's dry.
Ash.
Ah,
Ash.
right.
I gotta moisturize them.
Gotta moisturize, yeah, your elbows, man.
Yep.
You moisturize everything but the elbows. We tell you, you gotta get those elbows. It gets dusty.
When I was younger, though, we would go and catch snakes, and like my friend always wanted to milk them.
Oh, so wait, where? Where were you? Like just ravines? Where were you finding snakes?
By train tracks. We'd always just go to the
Oh,
train
sure.
tracks. That's what we'd always just
Wow.
say. We're just
The
to the train
snakes are like, we're with our fellow long lines.
Oh.
Yeah, they just feel at home.
Yeah, or like if you go like kind of like I don't know, it's not really like it's like if you go like in the woods, but like in near water,
Oh,
like
sure.
water streams, there's usually like snakes
Yeah.
around there. Like it's strange. They're just usually like around the water. You can just tell where they are. Like you go there and you're like they're here.
You feel it in the air, yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah, you
see
can feel it.
there's snakes in the clouds. It's all, yeah, it's marked.
Yeah, so we used to catch snakes as a kid, and like this one of my buddies just always wanted to milk them. I'm like, why are you always trying to milk these snakes?
It's possible. If you Google, can you milk snakes? They say yes.
Yeah.
Maybe not all of them. I don't know about
Snakes.
boas, but give it a shot. Yeah.
Do you
Yep.
mean for Venom?
Well, no, I think they got milk. I mean, they can,
Yeah,
Huh?
you know.
They got milk.
Wait, but if yours is a guy, then maybe you can't. But yeah, I don't know if it's strictly lactose. It might be.
I'm
some
gonna
other
type
form.
into Google what is
Snake milking.
snake milk.
No, snake milking, because he always just
Because
said,
I
"I'm gonna
looked
milk
at
the
the
snake."
most vague.
You gotta share that screen.
Oh, there's a milk snake. There's actual snake on a milk snake.
Yeah, there's an actual milk snake.
What
There's
is
a type.
snake milk used for?
Snake milk.
Milk is a snake milk is someone who extracts venom. It's venom.
Wait, but maybe
Well, he doesn't
you
have any
mix it.
venom.
You mix it with whiskey, and it gets you high.
But didn't
Yeah, or like put it in like sushi.
Right.
Cleopatra
Feed it to Bruce Lee.
bathe in
Venom.
Snake venom.
like adder
Snake
milk or
milk.
something? I don't know. But yeah, well, I don't have milk because they don't have tits.
Hey,
No, but
you don't know that.
You can milk them.
But
That's milk.
yes, I think the term milking a snake is how to get the venom out.
Okay, so all right, well, hey, there you go.
There
Well,
you
what
go.
are they?
Milked.
A
Guess
boa
the-
constrictor is a non-venomous snake.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you can't milk them.
Can it still pack a punch though? Like, are you scared to stick your hand in and would it bite you?
Nah. He usually he'll give you like a sign if he's like not in the mood. But
Oh, okay.
no, not really. Like he's been really really good. Like he hasn't striked at me or like hissed at me or anything like that yet.
That's good.
I'm anticipating it eventually, but
Well, no, he knows. He knows that you guys are the parents.
again, like with any other animal, a dog bites you, a cat scratches you, a fish jumps out of the water, and you gotta like give it some more water. It happens.
Exactly.
It happens.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just in general, it's good to know you got a chill snake. It makes me want to come over and wrap the thing
It's
around my
pretty
neck.
chill. It's pretty chill. He's really small. Yeah, he's really small.
Yeah.
He's tiny.
Well, yeah, looking at the picture, it's hard to tell because the picture looks like it could be kind of big. Like, I'm thinking, like, is it really thin? Is it like a thin guy?
He's
I'll find a picture for you, and then
like
I'll share
almost the
screen.
length of the tank, which I think was a 20-inch.
No, it's a 20 gallon. Yeah, I think it's a 20-inch, but it's 20 gallon. It's a 20
Yeah.
gallon tank. It's 20-gallon tank. It's huge.
So
It's like half the table almost.
Okay. Do they tell you how big they can become? Was that like almost a? Did they give you a warning in the shop saying?
Yeah. It's right away.
Okay, they're like, listen.
You can get up to 7 feet. Like
Yeah.
Oh.
But most of the time he's like coiled up and wrapped up, so it's hard to see his
I don't know how to get out of
as you
this
stretch
program. Oh, there we
his
go.
actual length. But
Okay, yeah, I'll try to find a picture of him. Hold on.
looking at this ruler, which goes to 12 inches, I'd say he's probably almost 20 inches, maybe if we stretch him out.
Right.
Maybe a bit less. Maybe like 16, 18 inches.
So I guess yes, snakes and brains have something in common. They like to take their entire body mass and coil it to look smaller.
Oh.
They say something. Yeah, if you were to I forget what the stat is, but there's a stat about the human brain where it's like if you were to unfurl the human brain because of how wrinkled and coiled it is, you'd be able to stretch however far. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't realize.
I can't give a stat, but
coiled.
it's wrapped into itself. It's as there's as much matter there as possible. The amount of wrinkles. The less wrinkles in a brain, the dumber the animal. So you look at other primates and they got some solid wrinkles going on. Dolphins got bigger wrinkles, Props to the dolphins.
Is that way? What's the term? Like smooth brain or something?
Yeah, that's exactly where that comes from.
Means you're a bit dumb.
You're more than a bit. Yeah, your smooth brain is as dumb as a human can get. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would prefer people use insults like that because, like, as far as I know, that's not humanly possible. Look at that guy. Yeah, that's like a normal pet size.
It looks like that, yeah.
Nice. Baby boa.
He's so tiny. He's really tiny.
Yeah. It fits in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Okay, how do I stop this? I don't know.
How do I stop? I want out. I want out. You're like Neo in the Matrix. Get me out of here.
Ah! Pull me out.
I never even know how to end it either. I don't know how to end this thing. I didn't even know how to get out of the screen to get to there. So like I had to hit escape on my thing. Like I don't even know.
It works.
Seriously.
You just slap buttons and the universe will work for you. Yeah. Very cool.
Right?
So
it usually works.
Not a segue, but change of subjects. I'm curious, Aidan, what topics you had sitting in the back burner from last episode that you were curious to kind of.
I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah.
Number one was the ocean cleanup project.
Oh yeah.
At the time of our last podcast, have cleaned up 3.8 tons of trash from the Pacific Ocean, I believe. because there is a garbage pile / island because it's becoming such a landmass of trash.
Right. It has
Out in the
coalesced. It
ocean.
has its own gravitational force.
Yeah. Because I guess I don't know the science behind it, but I guess it's like in the center of like a current stream, so that
Oh, okay, yeah.
God.
different countries are
That's
just like they
awful.
end up in this one spot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's how it works.
Oh, so
So there is this ocean cleanup project / company / charity that's going out there with these big ships, and they're scooping it all up in big nets.
Very good.
That's really
Props
awesome.
props to
That's
them.
so
Yeah,
disgusting,
that's some
man.
good news. You know,
And
the news
then
doesn't like to be good, but it happens sometimes.
yeah, so very good. So good for the fishes, good for our planet.
Yeah.
You don't want to anger the ocean because
Right.
it might piss off Poseidon
Yeah, I'm
/
thinking
gods,
Poseidon, Neptune, Godzilla, yeah.
right? The
The
Kraken,
Pacific creatures, the Kraken, yeah.
mermaids.
I've
Yeah.
picked Godzilla before.
That blonde guy with the glasses from the movie Atlantis, the cartoon.
Oh yeah, the cartoon.
No. Yeah, Aquaman has been
Milo.
successfully changed, but
His
yeah,
name was Milo.
Oh, is that the name of the guy from Atlantis?
I don't remember his last name. It was Milo. Yeah, so that's cool. Hopefully, they can clean it up. The only problem is if the country's responsible,
Oh, gotta put it on your
China
land.
and India, if they don't stop polluting, then you're just
What are you
kind
gonna
of
do?
putting a band-aid on it and not really.
Yeah, because what's the end game?
Yeah.
We've collected it. Now what? We put it on land, presumably. We get it
Yeah.
out, and then it just sits in a big old pile. And then whoever's country it's in is probably very bitter. And then I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's ways to deal with it. Some countries burn their trash, which creates thermal energy, which they can then power things.
Okay. Okay.
And the downside is it also creates some pollution, a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, because you are burning plastic, so it's not great. And then I guess you could do the old like Wall-E thing where you just compact them into little cubes, and then you build
Create
stuff with the
neutron
cubes.
star.
Yeah.
Very cool. Create Barbies. I
yeah.
heard that that's a fun way you can recycle plastics
Yeah.
by reducing them into pellets, and then certain pellets are different colors, and so you just utilize that. You just shoot it into a factory, you separate them. You have like AI now that can do that, so it's like a super quick process, and then you can just create whatever toys you want.
That'd be pretty cool. I like that idea.
I don't know how easy it would be to reuse that plastic that's been sitting in like ocean water for.
Right. How much of it is plastic and how much is seaweed or whatever other strange materials? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm sure that could be all part of the process, cleaning process, all that jazz, and
Hey,
something it
I'll
could be
eat
used
recycled
as
seaweed.
something, like it could be used as something else. I
Yeah.
don't know, just something that could be. It's now used as for something else. Yeah.
Yeah. No more waste. Production can be found anywhere. For all those future giant megalomaniac companies, there's big profit to be made. So think selfishly. Grab that stuff and save the world.
Like everybody shits on Amazon because of the way they treat their employees and stuff.
Right. But how do they treat the planet? A lot of cardboard, so that's good.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You think about Amazon packaging. It's a plain cardboard box with like one label on it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And even the
tape
that holds it together is like a paper kind of slightly plastic adhesive, but it's kind of paper,
It's more paper than plastic, rather than other forms of tape, which is just pure plastic.
Yeah, and then inside the box, instead of using plastic bubble wrap, they used to use scrunched up brown paper.
Oh, that's true. They do. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
So,
that's a good point.
It depends. It depends. Everything depends because sometimes
that's what you could buy.
There can be better works done to it, but
and then the product itself inside the cardboard box, that product probably has like 5 layers of plastic packaging.
Yeah, exactly.
A plastic sleeve.
But not everything comes in a box, though. Is what I'm trying to say. Is a lot of my packages come in bags, and they're not Amazon bags too. Like they have the bubble wrap inside. Like it's just there's so much plastic everywhere where it's like they need to kind of figure out some sort of new material. It just needs to not be plastic anymore. That's
always
the main
room for
issue.
improvement.
Yeah.
that's kind of the, like, it's just
Plastic's not really the problem. It's just what we do with it afterwards, isn't it?
Oh,
It's just
sure. Yeah. Plastic
throwing
could
it
be
away
pushing
is
it
way
away.
as
too.
simple as anything else, so long as it doesn't end up in the middle of the woods or in the lakes or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Good
So
point,
it's
Aiden.
that part. That's the big
Yeah,
one.
definitely.
sure.
That's guys, that's a really, really good point. So if you have any plastic, make sure it's going in the right spot. Don't forget. I do honestly, I don't know if you guys do, but I get sometimes, like, I do throw plastic out, like, with certain things, but there's certain, yeah, because
Please get him.
certain
After that is soapbox speech.
be-
How could you?
because there's certain things that you can't just, like, separate the plastic from. That's why,
Well, yeah. If
you know
there's
what I mean?
plastic and it has filth on it,
Yeah, there's certain things
then
you can't take the
like
plastic off
if you're
from.
eating takeout and it's just a bunch of leftover sauce or just dribbles or
Yeah, you have
whatever
to
is on
throw
it,
that
you
out. You
got to
can't
throw it
put
in the
that in the
trash.
recycling bin.
Yeah,
So it's like
Because
if
yeah.
you
You
feel
because
can't
bad throwing
clean
that
it.
out.
yeah, the whole thing that it's with just gets tossed in the trash once it gets to
Yeah.
actual landfills. They're
So
like
Yeah.
that part
the
there, I
recycling
think
has to be.
is an issue because that, for me, it's like I love to recycle. I love to, but it's like certain times I can't recycle and I feel bad when I can't. Like I literally throw it in the garbage. I'm like, like I did this all these. I had so many packages in my back, in my storage room,
Yeah.
and I broke down all the stuff, put it, and I just was throwing away plastic. But it's just like plastic that can't be really recycled, and just, it's just made me just, whatever. But
Yeah.
there's certain things that you just have to like
Yeah. There's
do.
also
It's so
certain
weird.
types of plastic that can't be recycled as well. Most of it can be,
Plastic.
like if it's got the little triangle on, but there are some types
I
Yeah.
was
that can.
told, and this isn't everywhere, but I think in Ontario they say black plastic is used with a certain kind of material that can't really.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
at the end of the line. It's like they
Mhm.
color code them. It's like green, clear, totally fine, and then the
Yeah.
black ones are like just treat it like trash. You gotta throw it out.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hmm.
Yeah. So because I'm curious what goes into that because it's the same. I feel like that's the same recycling system that glass uses as well as plastic. There's clear glass, green glass, and
Oh,
then it's not black but like dark glass.
Dark. Yeah. It's
And
right.
they color code, I guess, how many times it's been reused, maybe. And so once it
maybe.
gets to darker shade, then they go just
Oh,
treat it
that's interesting.
like
Hmm.
a dog in New York, just stray. Just throw
Awesome.
it out.
Get
Segue.
out
This
of
is quick,
here.
a tiny little segue. Speaking of like reuse, recycle, all that jazz, keeping good with the earth.
Hell yeah.
Take a picture of your dog and plant a tree.
Oh, sure.
Remember
Yeah,
that? Did
it's
you?
not part of a
Yeah.
project. Just do that.
He's like, sure, sure.
Sure,
So I
I'll do
guess
that. Yeah.
Joe didn't hear Joe. So
I don't know. Yeah.
if anyone else listening didn't know about this, there is an Instagram story app. It's not really an app because since it's just like an addition that you can add onto the story that people now can engage more with your stories. So what the addition is you can add an photos to an album that somebody had posted. So say
Oh,
I want pictures of plants that you guys have, I can post on my story, post a picture of your plant, and then Joe, you can post your picture of your plant to my story, and now
yeah.
Aiden has access to that picture of your plant and my plant. And
Yeah.
if now Aiden wants, he can incorporate his picture.
Okay.
Now, there was this outburst of like people constantly putting this in their stories where it was a picture of their pet.
Yeah.
When you post a picture of your pet, we post, oh no, sorry, we plant a tree,
Oh, yeah. It's like an
right? So it's like
incentive for them.
awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
That's dope.
I find out today, Aiden was looking up some things, and I overhear that it was all a scam
They just wanted the pictures of the dogs.
and
Those
cats.
Yeah.
bastards.
Oh, they wanted the clout or something. Yeah.
Oh, they literally, yeah, they like did that for clout to seem like a good guy and then just didn't follow up and didn't think that all of the, if you
Doesn't have
have
millions.
1,000 people, not even because I was going to start with like maybe 10,000, but literally, I think if you have 1,000 people following you or engaging with some kind of thing that you're doing, some kind of a mission statement or whatever, you're guaranteed to have at least one person who's an internet sleuth who will look into you and completely blow you up if you're being like
Hmm.
a fake or a floozy. Yeah. So yes,
It
got him.
got 4 million posts,
4 million.
Yeah, that's a lot more
so
than
that would have
1,000.
been 4 million trees.
Yeah. They're
Um,
probably like, oh shit, we didn't expect this kind of
Brutal.
engagement. We can't keep
Brutal.
up. Yeah, well, what a bunch of
Just-
suckers.
Suckers. Yeah, I didn't do it unfortunately because you guys know me. Aiden says you don't like trends. He knows, but you guys know me in trends. I can't jump on it. I couldn't jump on it, and I have the cutest little chihuahua. I couldn't jump on it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is such bullshit.
'Cause
If
it
I
just
want to go,
sounds like
I'll go
bullshit,
plant
yeah.
a tree. I will go plant a tree.
Yeah. Instead,
Thank
it should
you.
have just said, "Hey," but it shouldn't have any kind of other incentive other than just saying, "Hey, give me a picture of your dog or cat."
Yeah.
Here's a
And like
public
so many
album.
people now, they feel like they're like cool now because it's like, oh, I posted my picture and like,
Well,
no
now they're a
offense, y'all, because there's
savior.
4 million of y'all.
Yeah.
4 million y'all out there, don't come for me. But
Right. Whatever. Hey, come to me.
So
Yes.
to clarify,
Yeah.
it seems like they had good intentions,
Sure. They just didn't
and
expect.
then because it blew up to 4 million, they basically said, "Yeah, there's no way we can do that."
Right. Did they at least cap it? Or did they do none?
No, they
Like,
did. I think they just took the post down, but because you repost it to your story and then
The internet.
they
Yeah.
repost it to their story, and
Okay.
it doesn't matter if you originally took it down because now it's on everyone else's story. So yeah, whether or not they're gonna plant, I don't know, like 1,000 trees to make up for it. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
what?
you got at least
Y'all gotta
100.
plan
Give
something.
us
Damn.
something here. Yeah, jeez. It was probably some like 17-year-old high schooler who made this thing.
No, this was the Plant a Tree Co.
Oh, so what the
Instagram
heck?
account.
So how the hell y'all can't plant a million trees?
Yeah,
What the
there's
hell,
an
man?
established business. Yeah, you should have measures in order to do this. What were you guys expecting?
Times 4. Shit. Is
Yeah.
that so hard?
Right. Yeah.
Jeez.
So basically, that company is just going to be planting trees for the rest of their existence to make.
That's
I
what
know.
they
I
should
don't
be doing,
understand what their
honestly.
business model is, but yeah, now you have a debt to pay society.
Good one,
Yeah.
Joe.
Hey, that's the cost of clout. That's the only penance is.
Oh,
debt.
they've done it before. In 2019, the Instagram account came under widespread scrutiny after it promised to plant trees for every time someone reposted a post from their account. The account did not fulfill its pledge.
Wow. Okay, so these guys are actual just gone.
So it seems like, yeah, they must do it to get the followers and the interaction, and then they only plant like
A tree.
one tree.
a bonsai tree in their house. They
Yeah.
just take it from a shop and then put it in a different pot and say, "I did it." Yeah, one of those.
Or like a
Plastic.
bean or something. Like
Bonsai.
Plastic.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
One of the other notes I have,
Yeah.
is from this week actually. One of my other notes was just, I don't know, maybe we'll come back to it, but this one's more interesting. YouTube are going to, or maybe they already have, I don't know, take away the dislike button.
Right. No. The dislike counter.
Oh, just the counter.
Yes. So
the bottom.
you know the interesting juxtaposition with that news is this comes at the heel of Twitter introducing a dislike button.
Oh,
Twitter's like,
if
it's
not-
already a hateful site. They're like, bring on the hate. Let's go. We're Twitter and we accept it. Like, let's try to spread as much hate as possible. And then YouTube is like, our video, our Rewind 2018 has the most disliked videos on our entire website, and you guys are mean, and we're getting rid of the counter. So
Yeah.
now, like all of those videos, all of those hundreds of billions of videos out there that are like how-to videos that people specifically use the like to dislike numbers to find out whether or not that's helpful. Good luck.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah, you're now
This is
walking
stupid. I
blind
hate
into the valley of death.
Like,
Yeah.
why are you getting rid of the dislike button? I don't
But
get
we're
it.
a
It doesn't make any
democracy. We
sense.
should
It
have
doesn't make any sense.
the right to dislike stuff.
Exactly. It's like we can do it, but now it's under the shadow government of YouTube, where nobody gets to know how many people disliked it. Therefore, Putin can live forever.
I wish TikTok had a dislike button because there's so many TikToks I see.
There's like animal abuse. There's like super misogynistic,
no,
sexist,
that
racist
stuff
shit.
doesn't come up on my algorithm. But
hey, my algorithm's weird, man. I get some fucked up shit, and I think it's just because like it can see me as I watch it, and it just sees that I'm like a white young male, and it's like, let us just send you the weirdest fucked up shit. They say, yeah, because they sent me some dude cleaning his car, being like, women are just fucking bitches, and like they just want you for your money. I'm like, why is this in my recommend? What the fuck? Like, TikTok, man, you got the wrong idea of me, man. Like I'm not liking this stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, I get
What
weird
about
shit.
like this video? No, like comment, right? Comment, like this. Comment if you hate this video.
People literally, yeah. People
that's a good way
started
of doing
doing that. People started
Yeah.
saying, "Comment if you dislike," and then everybody's just saying like,
Yeah,
"Comment
and
if
then
you
you can just
dislike, dislike,
dislike that.
dislike." Everyone's just saying dislike in the comments.
No,
Yeah.
we're coming.
Yeah.
We're still gonna dislike it. We're gonna find a way around
Democracy
it.
will prevail.
Because
Yeah.
what I do is I go in the comments and I'll just like the comments that are hating on the video, because you can't dislike it. So it's like you're gonna upvote those people who are also hating on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's all
Because
we can
again,
do.
it's democracy.
News,
It's the freedom of
of
if you put
society,
yourself
of the
out there,
human
then
spirit. Yeah.
yeah,
We'll push past this oppression.
Makes
You
me so
know,
mad.
shrouded as a safety. Oh, we're doing this for the people because the hate mobs out there just attack people based on their personalities, and it's like so. The person's still getting the views, like
Yep.
you know what hurts? Hateful comments. You know what doesn't hurt? Bunch of dislikes. I don't care
yeah,
about dislikes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Someone
Exactly.
comments saying die, I'm
really
like that hurts.
all that
Dislikes, oh shit.
all that
Yeah,
YouTube should
exactly,
care
Joe.
about is the views, because they obviously make revenue from the views.
Oh,
So
wait. That's the actual real reason they're doing it. Oh my god, I totally forgot. The real reason they're doing this, I mean, this is surmised, but like it's so obvious, is the corporate videos get so many dislikes, and they want companies to continue using them for ad space.
Yeah.
But you're allowed to treat it as its own video, so people dislike the shit out of all these stupid corporate stuff
right.
because obviously it's soulless and advertising sucks and nobody likes it. So it's like
Yeah.
you end up like it just ends up being this scenario where Sprite comes out with a new like we're protesting against racism. It's like shut up, Sprite, you fucking loser, and everybody just dislikes it. It's like no, you're
Yeah.
not, Sprite. You suck, Sprite. You're probably run by
Yeah.
racists. Yeah.
Oh, Sprite. No one ever talks
Fuck
about Sprite.
Yeah.
No, but it's true though. It's like because it's not. It's the day and age
Just
where,
soulless.
like, I have an obsession with kind of like nostalgia. So like, I love to watch like old school cartoons and like, oh, it is just so great to watch because the nonsense they would feed us that you don't even like think about. You're just like, oh. And now that have so much access to information, everybody has a mouthpiece because they can hide behind their screens, right? So everybody has an opinion and a mouthpiece, and they're coming hard. So people, and especially when people are in pain, they come hard in the comments. They come hard. The person's like going through something if they're coming like for you, right? So
Right. Means that they're kind of
this day and age, it's like they're don't try to like put Kendall Jenner in a Pepsi video with like, come on, we're gonna be mad. We're gonna be real mad. And like, this is stupid.
It's like
come
this
on.
isn't how reality works. Like a
This is
real
yeah.
version of that scenario would have been she walks over to Pepsi and the cop just clocks her in the head.
Yeah.
Like that would have been
Right?
what
Like,
She
actually.
could have got
Yeah.
maced in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. But back in the day, you would just like see it on TV and you'd be like, that's stupid. That's just a stupid commercial. And then you
Yeah.
just move on.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean? It's like
the
now.
TV people don't know, so they just keep coming out with weird shit.
Exactly. The TV people
They
don't
have
cut
no
out. So
feedback.
they just keep letting them come up with crappy shit. Same thing with like movies now and stuff like that too. It's just
The movies hurts. That hurts my soul when so many bad movies have been coming out one after the
It's
other.
like-
Well,
Like,
these movies are going
Segue,
through it.
Joe. We have watched some garbage this week.
okay, tell me, please, what have we seen?
I've already forgotten. Because
Venom.
My girl, yeah, Sam and I have watched Eternals.
oh no, we've not done Eternals.
Okay, I will say.
We've
Venom.
been doing the streaming service ones. So
Okay, yeah. Oh, Red State. Or is that what it's called? Red Alert? Code Red?
Red Notice. So we watched Red Notice.
Yeah.
All the same.
sorry.
I'm with you on that one, Joe. All those names.
Red
are-
whatever, who cares? The Bruce Willis one? Red? Yeah.
Red something.
Yeah, it's Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Gal
Yeah.
Gadot.
Yeah.
It's very average, and
No, wait. Actually, I have an important thing to say about the movie without trying to spoil it. Or no, I guess I have to spoil it by saying this, but it's going to be as vague as possible, okay? So first, you guys have seen it, right?
we've seen it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So audience members at home, you can watch it, not watch it, because the plot it doesn't really matter all that much. It's mostly action
Oh.
scenes. The fact, like the message, basically of the movie, the way that it ends, it's like Reynolds just he gets fooled by these people. He thought he was making a friend for the first time. Like he has dad issues and he's like alone and he's lonely. And then like The Rock is finally his friend and it was all a ruse. And then that's just how it ends. There's not even like a thing where The Rock is like kind of feeling bad about it. He's like, I actually was friends with this guy. That's just not the case. So Reynolds now his character, the psychology of this man will crumble in on itself. The amount of insecurity you must have. He's like, wow, I'm never gonna try to make a friendship again in my life. Like, I can't trust. All that did was like confirm all of his insecurities. It basically emotionally ruined his life. Like, The Rock is a monster. And Gal Gadot, but like Gal Gadot was like supposed to be the enemy the whole time. The Rock was supposed to be a good guy, and then
Yeah.
too.
And then
It's
the only
so
way for
So
sad.
him.
much for keeping it vague, Joe.
Sorry, I
No,
totally
honestly,
that.
if
Just
you've not
guys that
seen
small,
it,
there's no
don't
bother.
bother.
Don't bother. It's whatever.
You
Yeah.
guys are
And then the only way for him to make a friend at the end, Joe, is to
It's
blackmail
not-
him to
yeah.
be his
It's
friend.
like, what is the message of this movie? Yeah, it's like, hey, you guys don't want to be friends with me, but let's make money. And then that's the only way.
Yeah, you
Playing
guys are
everything.
going to be friends with me because I froze all your illegal offshore bank accounts.
And now
So
also I'm
you better be
promising
friends
you
with me.
money. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like such a toxic relationship. Yeah, it's promoting
yeah.
really bad communication skills and
trust.
toxic relationships. So that movie did a bad job on society's part, I feel like.
Yeah, that one wasn't good. And then we watched one that was even worse, which was Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Oh boy.
It's just, I mean, I hate the first one. Like, I really, really, really dislike the first one. I think it's absolute garbage. With like PlayStation graphics and
Right. I don't know what
So
they
it
were
was
doing.
number two. So it was number two. Number two's
yeah, well, I was gonna say like and cheesy writing, and then in the second movie, nothing's changed. It's still like cheesy writing and like
What I
yeah,
don't
just
understand is like
bad
it's
CGI.
Sony, so why is it so bad? If it's
I
Sony, why is
know.
it so bad? Like and like then don't come up with the
They
movie
made God of
if the
War.
technology isn't there. If the
They
technology's
have
not
the movie.
there,
They have the
just don't come up
graphics.
with the movie.
Yeah, the technology's there. They're just not hiring. I don't know.
It's like
Or
they need people at Disney. They
money
need someone at Disney on there
CGI people.
because
Well, the backstory of the first one
horrible.
and kind of Spider-Man 3 too is that there's this one executive producer who doesn't seem to give a shit about Spider-Man, but owns a piece of that property. Like inside of Sony, he's like a Sony employee who's an executive producer who specifically has the rights to Spider-Man, and he was the one who forced Sam Raimi to add Venom into the plot that Sam Raimi already wrote for the third movie. It was supposed to focus on the Sandman as the main enemy, and then Green Goblin Harry thing as like this emotional conclusion with their friendships, kind of a thing, right? And that was it. Then Venom was forcefully added into the movie and turned it into this thing where everyone was like, "Oh, there was too many enemies. The story
There's
didn't
a
feel
lot.
as jointed as it
Yeah.
could have been." And basically kind of ruined what would have been like the best trilogy ever. I mean, people will still say that about those movies, and those three movies are the best Spider-Man movies in my opinion. But yeah, this one man, this one individual. I I don't have his name, but he's out there. He can be Googled.
It's like Ari Avad or something.
Oh yeah. You have
Right?
it, yeah.
Something like that. Aviad?
It
Ari
could be.
Avad? Something
And
like that.
he he was the one who also forced this movie out, the Venom movie. He was like, I don't give a shit if Marvel's on the slow approach. We still got the IP, and we're gonna make this Venom movie because I don't give a fuck. Venom's happening. And then Tom Hardy's like, I love Venom. I want to make this Venom movie, and I want it, like even though I've made sure to be on good projects, I was on Inception. I did the Bronson movie. I'm an incredible actor. I have tons of skill. Um, Normally, I go into movies based on them having a good script or a good premise. I unfortunately clouded this time emotionally because I am a fanboy at heart and I love the Venom comic books. So I'm saying yes to this movie and just hoping the script is good. And it was not. And it was just like, they didn't give a fuck.
But how does it get number two? That's the thing I don't get.
Well, it made enough money
It
for
made
him
money.
to,
It
unfortunately.
made money. Yeah. And
Yeah.
there are people out there that are genuine film critics that said that they liked the movie. They were like, I know it's like stupid fun, but I still liked it. And it's like, but it's not stupid fun. It's like kind
It's
of boring.
not.
It's
so
stupid.
Not even, yeah.
It's like
It's
really
not
Not fun.
It's just stupid.
The second one, he's just destroying his house. The whole thing. I'm just like, this is so.
Oh, it's like a
boring.
Yeah,
Transformers
there's this
thing.
like weird,
These are in
this
there.
weird like comedic
Humor, where it's like,
duo thing that they've got going on.
be like in the way all the time.
Yeah, where it's like, I'm talking to myself because I'm Venom inside, and I'm talking, and it's like, and then Venom's coming out and
Shut up.
trashing the house,
Like,
and
shut
it's
up,
like,
shut up,
don't
shut
do
up.
that, Venom, stop trashing my house. Oh, it's so funny. And I'm like,
There's a chicken.
what is this shit?
There's just like
isn't-
so much trashing of the house. It's like, well, why? Is there nothing
Yeah.
else? Like, is there nothing
Why
else
is
to
Tom
Venom
Hardy
besides just trashing
talking
his
to
house?
himself, trashing a room, and And yeah,
That's it.
just and then in the second one, of course, Woody Harrelson, award-winning actor, is showing up doing the same
Right.
shit. You
Yeah,
know,
And
he
the
was like,
Venom
Tom Hardy,
voice
are you sure the second
needs
one's going to
work.
be better than the first? Because I just came off of three billboards or whatever that movie was.
Yeah,
He's like,
that was
I'm trying
awesome.
to, I'm aiming for the top stuff right now. Tom
Yeah.
Hardy's like, listen, you're gonna love this one. Hey, listen, it's me, it's Tom Hardy. I'm an amazing actor. He goes, you are. You have several accolades. He goes, trust me. And then
Trust
the
me.
shit. Yeah.
I can ride a
They
motorbike.
changed
You're
his
gonna
wig inexplicably. What's up with that? The end of the
Oh
first
god,
movie, it was
not the
curly,
wig.
and in this one, it's like not curly.
yeah, this
What, wavy or
Not the wig.
right?
yeah,
His
yeah.
hair looked so weird. It was a
It,
weird. No, you know
well,
what? It was a toupee.
well, it was because Woody's bald.
It was a
Yeah,
toupee. So
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a
It's
weird
fake.
toupee that's like glued
But
on
I'm
weird.
saying at the end of the first movie, he looked like Ronald McDonald, and
Yeah,
then
Just
in the new
not.
one, I feel like
Just
I gotta Google map this
that's
one.
just not
because
good.
like the makers of the movie have gone. Oh, in the comics, Cassidy has red hair, so he's Woody Harrelson's gonna have to have red hair because the fans don't like it when we change stuff. No one would have given a shit if he was bald or not.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, nobody really would have gave a shit.
Half the movie, he's Carnage. He's a CGI monster. Half the movie, who gives a shit if he's wearing a wig or not?
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Toupee. Toupee.
Toupee. Touche. Toupee. Anyway, yeah, we can see
God,
here
look at that. Look at
the
the difference.
differences between the two. They started with this. They're like, we're gonna make Venom 2, and he's gonna look like this the whole time.
Uh huh.
And then they're just like, no, wait, we can't.
That's
We
ridiculous.
we cannot. The pain. It was probably Woody's decision. He was like, this is painful.
Yeah.
I literally cannot do this. This is too much.
Oh, and you know who directed this one?
Andy Serkis, which I gotta say, Andy,
Yeah.
listen,
What?
we gotta say this out of love. Andy, stop directing movies.
Yeah.
He directed Mowgli, which is the non-Disney version of that story, because obviously
Really
Disney
creepy
didn't
dog.
create the original story of Jungle Book. They stole it from some other person from a long time ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he got the rights. I think it's on Netflix. He called it Mowgli. This guy, he's Smeagol, he's King Kong, he's Caesar from all the Planet of the Apes new movies. This guy is amazing at acting. He's amazing at motion capture and graphics and all that fun stuff. So he's making this movie that only has one human in it. Everyone thinks it's going to be amazing, and it's extremely disjointed. The story just feels like none of the scenes connect. It just cuts from one scene to the next. It's like stoner thoughts, you know, where it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, let's all right,
I
for the
can
past
relate.
3 months, I did nothing but smoke weed and just jotted down a bunch of scene ideas. So now let's just put them all together.
Yep,
It's like, no,
I
that
can
sounds
relate.
like a
That doesn't
poem
work.
collage.
Yeah.
It's not actually make a cohesive story. It needs to be one single thing threaded, you know.
Yeah, and all the animals had like weird human faces. It was just
Yeah. He was like, listen, they need to have eyebrows, otherwise we can't tell that they're remote.
yeah, they need human eyes.
I
Just
think
remember
Disney
someone saying
worked
that.
with the Jungle Book, and then it didn't work with the Lion King. You know, quote unquote live action.
Yeah, because the Disney Jungle Book was still cartoonish.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
The actions
So was Lion
performed, and plus
King.
bears
Similar
actually have
to-
eyebrows. So you know, or at least the eyebrow muscles that can move. So it's like you
Yeah.
have a comedic bear character, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yogi Bear.
Okay, so that was Let There Be Carnage. We also watched last night Army of Thieves.
Oh, okay, yeah,
How's
yeah.
that?
What did
The
you
hell's
think of
that?
that compared
Oh my
to the first one,
gosh.
Army of the
I
Dead?
know
Well,
that.
Army of the Dead
It's like what the hell?
is the most nonsensical film I've ever seen. It has the most plot holes and loose
Yeah.
ends and just brain farts of a story.
That's a good way to describe
ever
it. Yeah,
I would never watch that
brain part of
trash.
a movie.
Yeah, like what
Thank
you were
you.
talking
I
about
never want to watch it
the
again.
Mowgli
I would
movie
never watch that
show
trash.
where you said it's just
Mowgli, never watch that
Disjointed
trash.
random scenes.
No way.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Jungle
just
Book, no thanks.
it's
Well,
just that.
Disney Jungle Book was good.
So I think what happened is
Oh,
Netflix
is it?
said, Zach, do whatever the fuck you want for this movie, and here's 50 million to make it, or 100 million, whatever. And he's gone awesome, and he wrote down just everything he could think of, and just put it all in this movie. And none of the producers looked at those notes as he's writing down to say, Zach, how are you going to explain a time loop, robot zombies,
Oh,
Origin of a virus, zombies that dry out in the sun but then come back to life in the rain, zombie tigers, immortal godlike zombies, mutant zombies. How are you going to explain all this in one movie? And Zach's like, I've already filmed it.
yeah, gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, you filmed it with a guy who's like a predator, and he goes, "Oops, all right, we're gonna green screen someone else." And oh, that was a bit too quick of me. Oops, let me fix that. Yeah.
And oop.
And yeah, exactly. Oh, I just found the
weird
balls. That's what he said. He took the seat.
Focus. Oh,
Yeah, that's good.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Zack Snyder, he was sitting kind of cross-legged like this. He was having a great time. He's like, "Listen, execs, don't worry about what the script's going to be because I already shot it without a script. You guys are going to love what I made." And they're like, "What, is that Chris D'Elia? Isn't he a predator?" And Zack Snyder's like, "He's a what?" And he sat on his ball. Oh, and he sat on the balls.
Oh my god.
They're like, "All right, we gotta recast."
Get me that lesbian chick. Get me the lesbian. She can cover for him.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Except that person who it's like she's a comedian. I know that I've seen her and stuff. She is genuinely funny, but in that movie they made her the most unfunny person in the world. And it's just
Which
Anyway.
movie is?
I
Oh
think
my
it was
god.
brought her in on a green screen, and then she was probably reading the script that Chris D'Elia would have had.
Yeah.
Rather
So
than
the
read
comedy didn't match
the
hers.
script to fit her.
Yeah,
They were like,
exactly.
you're just his character.
You gotta word by word it. Yeah. You gotta match his
Oh
movements
my
too. Like it's
gosh.
all gonna feel very robotic and unnatural. And
It probably helps that you use that weird camera lens or an hour screens in focus, but
oh yeah, that way everything's blurry and it can just half the time it's not even her. Yeah, they just crystally
good job putting her in though. It was very good.
Yeah.
But that movie's bullshit. It's full of plot holes.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
Army of Thieves, on the other hand. Yeah.
also just a bullshit movie. It has. It's got nothing to do with Army of the Dead apart from the fact that the German safecracker is in it because it's a prequel.
It's his origin story.
It's his origin story that no one asked for.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't ask for that. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
and the zombies had nothing to do with the plot. They should
Yeah,
not mention
He
anything.
was having like weird nightmares and
I
stuff.
having a scene
So
like
weird.
this, and then over the shoulder there'll be a TV, and it'll say on the news, "Zombie
Zombies in
outbreak in
Vegas.
Las Vegas."
Yeah.
But they're just doing their thing here, and that's just over the shoulder, and it's like
Yeah.
that's it. And it was
You
like,
like wake up, it's on the TV.
yeah,
It's
that's
like
the only.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, it's like
I
he's
want
got
to
his,
shut off my TV.
I want to go to Vegas because that's
Oh
what the
my
final vault
God.
is.
Yeah,
They should have said that in the beginning. They should have in the beginning been like, okay, we have 3 safes that we got to crack. The fourth one, it's instead of it being a mystery of where it was, they should be like, we know where it is, and it's where the zombie outbreak is happening. So therefore, that we're literally not going to do that one. We're just going to focus on these 3 vaults. And then the movie ends with them finally doing the 3rd vault, and he's the only one who escapes. And he promises to his love interest, he goes, "I'm going to go to Vegas, even though it's impossible. And I'm going to meet you when you get out of jail with a plan made." You know. But then that would have contradicted the previous movie, so he doesn't say any shit, and he
The
just goes
funniest
there and
he
just
was
waits.
was when there's like kind of like fake post credit scene where it's like, did you watch it, Joe?
Yeah. I've seen that one. Yeah.
So like it shows that scene where Batista goes to recruit him.
Yeah, and then it's literally just a scene shot. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the camera is it's a completely different camera. The color grading's different. The aspect ratio's different. It's like this isn't the same movie.
Like you literally just ripped that scene from the other movie. Yeah.
So you didn't even try.
I wouldn't know though because I didn't.
They don't need to. Wait, but I will say this: I enjoyed the spectacle of the CGI internal lock clicking. I know that's not how locks work in real life, but I was entertaining. I was watching, going, "Ooh, look, pretty."
Skyrim.
Brass. Yeah, you get to see.
I know. I'm like,
brass
are we playing
locks.
Resident Evil? Like, I just was. That was lame.
Yeah. It's already
I just thought it was. I didn't think the whatever. Okay, that's where they spent the CGI. But like the fact of like I'm putting my ear to the fridge and like I can hear my like food walking. No, you can't hear. You can't hear.
Doing it during a car chase in the back of a truck.
Like,
that
I'm
was
sorry,
the
but
stupidest
no.
thing. Wait, this is the hardest one. The second one almost tripped up on you when you were completely still, and now you're in a bumping, shaking thing, and you're gonna tell me
and you're flying back right, and this is you're gonna. That's what kicks it in. And that's it.
Yeah,
like what? You've been flying all over the place. That thing should be like spinning on the inside, like.
Yeah.
No?
So I will say this.
I was like, I'm done.
I think I compared that movie a little too much to Army of the Dead because I was like, wow, this is so much not as bad as that one. So I didn't even think about it in a positive light so much as a it's not as bad light. But
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't as bad as Army of the Dead.
it was cohesive. It was a story with
Yeah.
characters, and they had a
Yeah.
goal, and then they did it. So it's like,
Oh
hey, there you go.
yeah, so I think I mentioned that today in the kitchen, Aidan. I was like, the main character was just enough to pull the movie through. I think I
Mhm.
mentioned it. I was like, it was just enough where it was like, it got through. Like I was
Plus, I
enough
gotta
where I didn't
say,
have to like check my phone and stuff.
an Eastern European man screeching is something about that's just funny, you know? You get some
Yeah,
German
the
going,
main
yeah!
guy was
He's just always flying around and stuff. It's not
he
funny,
carried
you know? I don't
he
know.
carried it for me.
I
Carried it,
think
yeah. He's funny.
the
Carried
only
it for me.
the only thing for me is that there was a lot more comedy in it, obviously, but um, that if you didn't know anything about the franchise
Yeah.
and someone went, here's a movie called Army of Thieves, and it's about this kooky German guy and this British girl and this American, but he might be Russian, I don't know. Anyway, and they've got to steal these vaults and blah blah blah. And here's you're going to guess which franchise it belongs to. So here are your choices: Inception, um, the Fast and Furious franchise, or Army of the Dead, the zombie movie. Which
Fast
one
and
do you think
Furious.
it belongs to?
Fast and
It's
Furious all
Fast
the
and
way.
Furious. Like
Because it's
that's
got the same actress, so it's like, oh, this is her origin story.
yeah, but also just like the
Actually,
vibe, the
It's
way
her
it's
origin story.
filmed, the
yeah. The
comedy,
funny
the
vibe. It's
characters.
the dumb action, yeah.
Yeah, it's the wrong franchise.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
the final movie, as we start to wrap this up,
Yeah.
will end on a high note because we've watched a lot of movies this week. I think we almost watch one every night, but we did
There's
watch one.
more.
Well, I'm going to
There's
say we
more.
watched one good one. Was there another?
Go ahead.
Shang-Chi.
James Bond.
Oh
Oh,
shit!
Shang-Chi
James
and
Bond. Shit.
oh, there you go.
Dude,
James
Wow,
Bond
you,
was
two good
bomb.
ones.
he had
Two
no
good
time
ones.
to
I
die,
wanted
and
to
you had no
see.
time to remember you watched it.
Two good.
I was ready for that movie. I was ready for James. I was like,
Yeah,
give it to me,
James.
and
Give it to us,
he
James.
delivered. He delivered for me.
Yeah.
I will say it was better than the other nonsense that was going on, and the other stuff. Not
Yeah,
Skyfall,
the
but the
previous
other
one.
no.
Spectre.
Spectre.
But this one, okay, that was
It
a good
brought us
rounder
back.
for me.
It had the
There you
same
go. That was
energy
a
as
good
the
rounder
third
for me.
one.
That was a good
Yeah, I
rounder
was
for
like,
me. I give
okay,
it a little
not
clap.
as good as the first one, but far better than the second or fourth.
Yeah, like it's like
So I
it
was like,
played
okay.
out for me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, he did his job. The hands are gloves are up, done. Let's who's
I
next?
know they
Who's
didn't have to.
next?
They didn't have to paint hands on him.
Yep.
You know how that happened,
I heard about
where
that.
he just decided to wear gloves and they didn't check continuity, so they had to paint
Yeah.
skin-colored gloves
Because
for
I
everything.
was reminded of that weird
Gloves
trivia
are off.
because there's a
Yeah,
scene
gloves are
He's
on.
where
done.
Yeah.
he's wearing gloves still. I think when he breaks into like Rami Malek's headquarters,
Okay,
Oh.
yeah.
he's wearing gloves in that scene, and that made me think of that weird trivia. I
Oh,
was like,
true.
Oh.
Yeah.
that reminds me of that.
Gloves. The
I
famous
didn't
gloves.
remember. So
But
what,
Yo, oh my
but I
god.
did know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could talk a lot about 007 because the right before he gets in there when he's like shooting all the guards and stuff by himself, and then he does that quick turn, like
Oh
shoots the
yeah,
guy. The
Oh yeah.
signature
I was
shot.
like,
I was
oh,
like,
there it is.
I just cummed. Like
It
that
was
was
so. It
goddamn.
was
That was
so
so
like
good.
the way he
The
did the stance
speed.
too. It
I
was so
know.
good. It was
yeah.
just
It's
like
the
the
perfect.
stance
Genius,
That was it. That was the
genius.
signature 007. I'm
and the
like, he
way
did it.
like because the way like too like how it like led up to it, it's like everything made sense so that when he was like in that scene, the tunnel, like how it like everything
Oh,
just like
you're
perfectly
around
made
it.
sense. It's like it
Yeah.
wasn't like he was just in a random tunnel. It was like, okay, he's been going through that, and it's like boom, now it's the specific eye, the specific
Hmm.
it's like the specific
Oh,
I was
also, I
like, oh
gotta
my god,
say,
it was so
it's
cool.
I don't know if you guys have ever gotten this vibe before, but
Just said.
There's no time. There's no time to die.
It's good.
yeah. I
Sorry,
guess
Jonathan.
we've kind of spoiled little bits there with the Rami Malek or whatever, but like we won't say anything else. If you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Um,
I loved
but I
it.
was gonna say, oh wait, I guess I can't. The one thing I was gonna say is kind of a spoilery, but
Do it.
there's a Russian guy who is a scientist,
Oh
and
yes, yes.
what leads him to die is just by being a racist, so he gets pushed in the poison shit, and that's so funny because it's like I don't. Yeah, if you've never been to Russia, like I haven't, but you watch I've seen reality TV and stuff, and any depiction of Russians, they're like
Mhm.
blissfully racist, you know. It's like they just
Yeah.
never left the 1950s. Like they don't even understand what racism is. They're just like, oh well, you got white people and then you have N-words. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute, what the hell did you just say? And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess that's this Russian guy in 007.
Yeah.
He's that guy. It's like he's smart, he's a scientist, but he's kind of dumb as fuck when it comes to
Yeah.
understanding what human
Yeah.
beings are.
And he's a scumbag, right? Because like even
He's a villain, yeah. He's supposed to be a bad
Yeah.
guy, but he's like funny the whole time. So it's like
Yeah.
I confused about how you're supposed to feel about him, and then he just says
Yeah.
that into the new 007. She just pushes him in.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I thought it was great overall. Like I liked how they dealt with her being the new 007. I think they
yeah,
dealt
the fact that
that really
they
tastefully.
did like a double flip thing. That was
Yeah.
amazing. I never could have expected that transition to go so smoothly.
Yeah, and I like that there was a running
off camera, you
gag
know, and
as
then
well.
the movie is just like, surprise, who's this person? But like,
Yeah. I like the running gag of her and Bond saying it's just a number.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because I felt like that was a dig at the fanboys who were mad that she was a new 007.
Yeah,
So it
straight
was
up.
their way of like breaking the fourth wall and being like, it's
Yeah.
just a number. Stop
Yeah,
completely.
chill,
you know?
yeah. Oh my god, I love it. Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. The action was really good. I loved the scene where it was in the forest.
Yeah.
In the fog. Because it's like we've never seen this before. Bond's always breaking into casinos and high-rise buildings and secret lairs and
Swiss
corridors.
mountains. Yeah, it's always rich
Just in a forest with like one gun and one clip, and he's like,
barely any ammo.
These guys.
It's like a Resident Evil game.
Joe, like the cinematography there for me, Joe, was on. It was on point for me there.
The whole movie is beautiful.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
You know what it reminds me of in a weird way? Harry Potter movies. They're also British. It's a strong fan base around the world. And and it just always, like, even if certain stories are weaker or stronger, it always has great cinematography and acting. Like there seems to be a certain level that British cinema puts themselves at. Where
and I think that's where
if we're good at one thing, god damn it, it's cinematography.
Yeah. I think for me, that's where I'm used to movies. Like for me, I just remember like being young, seeing Top Gun, watching that over. My dad always watched, and then just like seeing like. So now when I'm older, I feel like when I watch movies and things like that, I'm very, very, probably 98% of the time let down. I think it's just because I have a standard of like how movies should be, because I feel like everything should be like an art or like a craft kind of thing.
I feel like Hollywood should have that standard.
Yeah. And like a lot of people don't really have that standard. So it's like, and I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy because it comes with, it needs money. You need good actors. You need a lot of different pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy, but when it does come together really well, you do get a really good piece of work. As example, this movie.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And also, whenever I think of British television, British movies, anything like there's Jane Eyre or Jane Eyre, whatever that is. That's like this old Victorian British movie. I remember watching that movie, being like, this movie has does not deserve to be this good looking. Like it is shot so well. I'm like, what is like? That's when I started to tap into that idea where I'm like, British cinema is just, whether or not the story is good is irrelevant. The cinematography is just out of this world. You know, it's Sherlock Holmes.
It must be the grey skies. They make it the lighting very soft.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that must be it. Yeah. There we go. They don't need all of the fancy gear we need here in Canada.
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, I think final point on Bond though is I think I'll say that the villain was a little bit weak and two-dimensional. But
I remember hearing he was supposed to be someone else.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be something different, so that's why it was probably last-minute change.
But I don't think it matters because this was Bond's story. It was. I don't think the villain was important because this was all about Bond for once, and you know.
Yeah, and plus they kind of have already done that. I mean, granted, it'd be nice if they did that every time, but like, first movie I think was mostly about Bond because you're introducing him, right? Casino Royale, this new Bond. Second movie was just trash. You don't even have to think about it. Third movie, they focused on the villain because the villain was an old agent.
Yeah.
And so they really built up that villain. It was a great villain.
Yeah, that was good.
Fourth movie, they tried to do that because now Spectre is like the ultimate villain. He was like, I am the architect of all of your pain. You know, he's like, I'm your brother or something, and also like I don't remember.
And also all these villains from the
literally all the ones from the past
movies, they worked for me secretly, even though we never mentioned it before, but they did.
I know. And then now you finally come to me, and then you beat me really easily. Oops, and then
And
like,
and oops.
So I was like, that guy. And then so they learned from that. They're like, all right, fuck the villain. Let's just this will be the last one with this actor, so let's just focus on Bond. And then they did.
Yeah,
It was great. Yeah,
it was great. Really liked it. And then the other movie was Shang-Chi, which was good.
Strong first half, weak second half. That's how I describe it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Second half kind of came out of nowhere. It's like, oh, we're at this
By the way,
temple.
Yeah.
Huh?
That was the whole thing. The new villain. They're like, by the way, here's this demon creature behind a vault.
Yeah. And also, here's
That should
this
have been the villain the whole time.
CGI field that we're in, and we're going to stay in the CGI field for the entire second half of the movie.
Yeah. Enjoy. Here we are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of CGI though.
I was like, you're introducing this character. Just make it more realistic, like the bus fight. You know, I was like, that was great.
Yeah.
Second, I went to the magic world. I was like, oh, it's all CGI.
Yeah.
They got the money for it, but
a lot of movies now.
I still liked how they dealt with like his dad's story arc. Was I think really good. Like for a villain, like a genuine. Because his dad wasn't even spoilers for Shang-Chi. Sorry, it's been out almost a year. Like his dad. His dad ran a terrorist organization, so yes, he's a bad guy. But in his dad's mind, he was trying to save his wife.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like, oh, he's a good guy.
And all he could only hear his wife, so he wasn't hearing a monster. He was like, so like I liked that he wasn't just like, you know.
But I would say this.
Combination. It was like.
Yeah, the movie's what, 2 hours?
Yeah.
So it's not, at least it's not 2.5 hours, but you know it should be in the first place. It's his intro story. I feel like keep the demon thing in the vault, keep that storyline, but have it be that it doesn't succeed in getting out, and Shang-Chi stops his father in time. That way, his dad doesn't like sacrifice himself and like become a good guy. It's like, no, you established he's a terrorist and he's killed several, hundreds of people throughout centuries, like all this shit, right? They should have focused on that. If anything, they dropped the fact that he's immortal. Like they should have focused more on that thing, and it should have been that the vault's almost open, the demon's getting out, but then he doesn't succeed. Shang-Chi stops him, and then that way you now have this established demon villain for the next movie, and then you're able to use that for some sort of Doctor Strange tie over or something. It's like you can use something like that. Instead, they just instantly dealt. It was like
but the dragon was cool.
Dragon was cool. Maybe the dragon could have helped in the war. I think the war should have stayed on the two sides, the terrorists and the village people, and then the dragon just helped.
Yeah, when the
the Queen's
and they did YMCA, and then that's how they defeated.
Exactly. The final thing is the dragon. But either way, hey, it was still a good movie. But
I enjoyed it as like an origin movie, like these kind of standalone, like first movies.
So you guys haven't seen Eternals yet, but the origin story comparison of Shang-Chi versus Eternals is not as good. No spoilers. Yeah, but like,
all right, okay.
You can still watch it because it's still entertaining. But yeah, there's so much characterization with Shang-Chi. Plus, the Eternals has like 12 characters, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to dive into them.
Right,
What's that?
It's quite a long movie.
Yeah, it's long. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's entertaining.
Get to see it soon.
Yeah, but that's all I'll say.
All right, guys. Any other points you guys want to drop in before we unplug?
No. Just a guess on the Marvel hype. I think there's a new Spider-Man trailer today.
Oh, nice.
The final trailer, because they always drop like 5 different trailers, right? They'll do like a trailer, a teaser trailer, a mini little one, then they'll be like the final trailer,
which is basically the movie.
Which is
actually no. Marvel's good at that, but most other movies, they're like, here, the final trailer will just show you all the plot points and how it ends.
Yeah.
But no, Marvel's actually good with that. So yeah, I scratch that off the record.
Yeah.
But there's one final point
next
I
week
want to
we
make.
can go ahead.
Well, okay, so we are going to finish, but Halo Infinite's multiplayer dropped yesterday. It was the 20th anniversary of when the first Halo dropped, and a bunch of whack jobs on the internet were saying, hey, they're going to surprise us by just releasing the multiplayer a month early, and everyone's like, you're an idiot. And then they did it. They're calling it a beta, but the beta continues from now until release. So it's just free to play out right now. You can just play it.
Oh, I'll have to.
What the fuck?
Check that out.
Its progression system sucks. The gameplay's awesome. But like you win and you don't get any points, it's like, why do I want to even win then? Like you just dick around in multiplayer and you'll get random points for doing random things. So progression system sucks, but the game itself is great. We just got to fix that PS
All right, cool.
expression system.
I hope you
That's
guys
my
will
point.
listen. Yeah,
Total
great.
Halo fan.
Sounds good.
One more thing.
Sounds
Sorry, I'm
great.
so sorry, D, because you keep trying to do the outro.
No,
There was
I ain't
also
trying. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Just saying,
talk
shut up.
there
Yeah,
was
no,
also Joe. There was also a teaser trailer, also dropped
show.
yesterday on the anniversary, for the Halo TV show on Paramount Plus, and it didn't reveal anything apart from the back of Master Chief's head as they put Helen on. That was it.
He's a white man. Yeah. They should model him after the radio host who voices Master Chief. The guy's radio host
That
by
guy's
day,
like
Master Chief
50
by night.
years old.
Sure, yeah, but you CGI youth his face or whatever, you know. Don't have him act in
Yeah.
it, but just scan his face and then just have some jacked guy impose the face on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, super. I wouldn't say I'm super hyped for that one. I'm super hyped for Halo Infinite, the game, but the Halo series, I'm at least grateful that something came out at all. Because back in 2006, 2007, Neil Blomkamp, however you say his last name, friend of Peter Jackson, he was going to make the movie, but then he wasn't able to get proper funding for it. Or I think Microsoft was being a dick. So he ended up using all the props he made for that short that he created into District 9. And then that's what became.
Yeah. And that shot was awesome. That was like the ODST trailer.
Yeah,
or
the
something.
ODSTs, yeah, trying to find Master Chief and like mark him so that they could find him at the beginning of Halo 3.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
So cool.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Done.
So yeah, back of Master Chief head, people. Go look at it.
Great.
He's got a head.
He's got a head. Who knew? Yeah. Save the head.
All right, Dick, you can wrap it up now. Do your outro.
Huh?
Yeah.
Just like, huh?
It's like I don't even want anymore. Let's do it. Let's get out of here.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. So please don't be shy to sound off down below. Let us know what you think about the movies and stuff like that, and everything else we covered for today. And we will be back next week. We can definitely chat a little bit more about Shang-Chi if you like. And what else? Was there another movie that we were mentioning?
Yeah, I see it, but
Eternals, yes.
Oh,
Chat a little bit more about that. And we can also cover that amazing, hopefully amazing Spider-Man trailer.
Oh, true. Yeah.
All right, we can get some like notes in and chat about that. So stay tuned for that next week, guys. And unplug. We're about to unplug, so let's unplug.
Let's do it.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.